Hello, everyone, and happy Saturday. Good morning to you. Good afternoon, depending where you live in the world. I'm excited to be here long before you get into your late afternoons with your families. I wanted to make sure we can cover a couple things. Everybody gets in business because of what's possible. Few get into business for the long term. Most get into it to recover from some past experiences or to actually make some money over the next few months. Oh, for the day that we get back into business for the long play. And that's what I'm here talking about, the compensation plan. I'm really talking to you about how to maximize it, how to get the most from it. And contrary to popular belief, it's going to happen without you thinking so logically. It's actually illogical or not logical for it to work best for you. So I would tell you, the greatest opportunity you have to be successful, a lot of that's going to come from the less you know, the less it's going to get in your way. The more you've done this business of home business and built strong teams, the more you might be deceived by what makes sense in one doesn't make sense in the other. Ladies, you know this. If you had a boyfriend, all guys are not the same. If you had several, they're not. Gentlemen, we know that all women aren't the same. Business is the same. Business is just like that. If you've done one home business and one comp plan, it doesn't mean the same strategy is the same, even if it geometrically looks the same. Don't know if that makes sense or not, but allow me to help you. Today, it is my goal to ensure that all of you learn where the money comes from at the end of the year from a great year in a business like this. If you're short-sighted and you're not thinking clearly, I'm going to help you. If in fact you are a strategist, a mathematician, you've been doing this for years and you know better than I do, it's okay. Let me know and I'll come onto your call and I will learn from you. Okay? I'm talking about the origin, why this was created this way, and what we had in mind for you. So it's going to be advantageous for you to listen up and see how you can learn from it. So, happy Saturday. And I don't intend to take you an hour at all. So you will not see 3 o'clock hit while we're here, right? I won't see it. By 3, I'll be sitting in the other room getting ready for my grandchildren coming for a week, right? That's what I'll be doing. So I want you guys to do this now. On this, get ready for tonight. In just a few hours, I'm going to be doing an overview. What you learn from this may change your behavior of what you do in these overviews. So if you think about it for a moment, I'm going to tell you something you may have been missing is the overview calls were created for you to have guests. If you know how the system works, you know how I do it, and you come out to watch me, but you're not growing your business or your income, you're wasting your family's valuable time. You want to really plug it all in and make it make sense. A great leader goes nowhere alone. If you're going to be a great leader, if you're going to go to an overview call, you better have some guests with you so that someone can be transforming how they're going to be doing business with you. Anyway, let's get to it. There's a need for speed. There's a need for consistency with this compensation plan. Many of you don't know that, and therefore you are slowing down your own income and you don't even know that it's happening. You slow it down because of interference. And before I get going, I got to say this. We have attempted as human beings to disrupt nature and interfere with it to make things work better, and it always comes back and slaps us in the face. There are times my father tried to help me with things when I was a potential young driver, and I would interfere with the progress he's put together because I thought I was cutting corners and getting there faster and getting more, and I was not. So I had to learn to listen from experience outside of my own so I can get further. And I want you guys to do that in this call. So it's interesting. You guys know I could chase rabbits quickly and get off the course. So I'm going to get back to course. So check this out. Here we go. The need for consistency and speed. There is a need for that. But in order to do that, you have to know what this is and what it isn't. Right? What this is not, ladies and gentlemen, is this is not a binary. Yes, you can have one position and you can have 2 legs just building downward. When you see this the wrong way, you're going to believe that, okay, I got it. I'm going to get one position, I'm going to stack it really heavy, and then when everybody else starts coming on the other side, it's going to start purring like a kitten. If you don't understand the need for organic behavior in this 1x2, you're not going to make nearly as much money. You may have a strategy going and remember to get your first couple cycles out, and then you're going to peter out because you will have missed it. Because some of you think it's a binary, you're going to put yourself number 1, yourself number 2, yourself number 3, and yourself number 4. And then you're going to start building other people because you believe that that's going to help you to make more money. But we're going to find out why that doesn't work, okay? You're going to hear me mention this word in a little bit. I call it the properties of equality. I learned that years ago in mathematics. There's properties of equality. If you're bringing people in and they're following you, they're following you. You can put as many people between you as you want. You're going to delay how often the top position cycles, but most of all, you're going to delay the speed. You're going to slow down the speed that's needed for you to make more money at the end of the year. So let's take a look. It's not a binary. You just need to get started to get momentum. Give out the link and let them get started. Don't you dare try to worry about where they're positioned. That slows a lot of people down. Like, okay, I'm going to put Roger in this position. Then Nancy never does anything. I put her in that position, and then she's going to cycle me out. Doesn't matter. They're going to follow you and psych you all day long. They're going to keep following you. You got to start thinking smart and know that it's going to pan out. At the end of the day, the reach and frequency, the reach of people to your matrix and the frequency of its cycling is what's going to pay you the most. All the strategies you're going to come up with are going to kill your momentum and they're going to kill your speed. Okay? Once you get that down, just get started. Don't be foolish. The myth of stacking, it slows down the speed. Could you imagine this? Let's say I'm only getting the first 4 positions. It's $475. Now, because I have a lack mentality, I'm worried about what if I overpay my sponsor? Let me see if I can get around that. I know what I'll do. I'll pay another $475 beneath me. Then, yeah, that'll work. But then what if he cycles me? He'll cycle me to my sponsor again soon. Oh, I'll get another position, and I'll pay all 4. Now I've got 4 positions, and I've spent $1,425 in 4 positions to avoid. You know what? Let me tell you something here, and nobody be offended. But get this: this is me wanting to help bless your family and your household. This is about as smart as deciding not to get a job that pays $2,000 a month because you would lose a $600 welfare check. That's how smart this is. This is like deciding to stay on workman's comp that pays you 66% of your income than going back to work and making more. You have found something that will reduce how often you pay your sponsor, not knowing your sponsor is fine, right? Because all of you people are going to follow him or her no matter what. Instead, you slow down the speed, which is going to cause you to have more payments throughout the year. Your speed is where your payments are coming from, not the individual transactions. It is the speed in which they happen. So here's a clue, right? Instead of stacking, understand that the greater the organic placement, the greater the speed, which means the more frequent commissions. If you need me to say it again, I will. The greater the organic placement, the greater the speed, and the more frequent commissions. All this other Einstein strategic stuff is going to kill you and cost you. Think about this for a second. If I stack those 3 levels I talked about and spend $1,425, by the time I do start cycling, I'm only going to break an even. I didn't do anything yet, and the guy beside me who just came in with 1 position and started putting people in is already in profit mode and making money. And he's doing it fast. How was he cycling multiple times a day, and I'm cycling once or twice a week? You are the issue. You're thinking like it's a binary. You're thinking like it's another type of a comp plan. So I'm telling you early on, fix that. You can fix it. What else? Remember the properties of equality? Right? You guys remember algebra or physics or calculus? Whatever happens on one side of the equal sign completely equally affects the other side. So if you think that you're slowing down and stacking on this side of the equation, the outcome of more payments is going to also slow down. It's possible not to. If you speed up because you have 1 position, how often you're cycling, you're going to speed up how often you're paid, which means you're going to get paid more. This is basic math. The multiplicative properties of equality, they affect us all. I can't imagine starting on the $3,500 level and getting paid only $25 on the other side. What happens on one side positions me for the other side. Stacking will delay. It's going to give you that gratification like you really have done something. But when you look around, those who are not as good are cycling more. Because of the attempt to reduce the payments to my sponsor. Nancy, she's a good woman, but dang, I would be giving her all my people. I mean, understand this. If you paid Nancy, it means you've already paid yourself. The more you pay Nancy, it means you've paid yourself equivalently. What's crazy about it is the people that cause you to pay Nancy, they're all paying you. Yeah. And if you're doing it, everything reproduces after its own kind. Let's say you do it. You're keeping Nancy from getting her pay. Now the people you bring in are following your lead, and they're going to stack to keep you. Now your whole lineage is all working smart, quote unquote, and working slow, and your leg and your people will cycle less than everybody else. And the newcomers are cycling faster. Did anybody ever notice how the newcomers are cycling like multiple times a day? The ones that don't have 20 years of experience? So let me help you out. Put your experience aside and treat this as it's a first date. You may have done a 2x2, but it's completely different when you're getting paid on every left position. Plus, you're cycling instantly. You're getting paid instantly. It changes everything. Now it's about reach and frequency. So it's not a binary. Let's get that out of our head. It's not a binary. What else? It's not a unit level. Here we go. We think we have this holding tank. Okay, I got my guys already on paper over here. I'm not letting them get in. I'm going to wait till Roger gets in. Then I'm going to tell Roger, I'll let him get the other guy. I'll give him his link to do this. Before you know it, while you're doing your whole strategy board on Monday, by Saturday, the novice has been cycling like Lance Armstrong, and now you finally have everybody in, but not much going on because you've already taught them they have to go slow. This is a speed game. Just give the link, let them sign up at the highest level they can afford. He who does that will win. Well, let's look. There's no need to hold people in a tank. There's no people to hold people and strategize. You're choking to death on volume. You're not going to have the volume. You're going to have a great strategy at the end, but somebody else is going to win more games. Do you remember this feels organically? Top to bottom, or left to right, top to bottom? Do you remember that? Someone comes in, they're just going to fall on the left. If you try to trick it, I'm going to wait for somebody who's not as good to put them on the left. That's just stupid. They're still going to follow you. You've done nothing. Let's let it fall where it falls. That means you're going to get paid more and you're open for more. Let it rumble. The guy or the gal who does that will cycle significantly more than my strategist. If you're a strategist, that's a good thing. Don't be mistaken. It's a good thing. It just isn't a good thing for something as simple. Imagine your son in the first grade comes home who's doing 5 plus 5 and 2 plus 2 and 1 plus 3, and he tells you he needs a calculus calculator. And you're telling him all he needs is pen and paper. But he's no. He's bringing the wrong strategy to the wrong math, as some of you are doing. It's too simple. This is just keeping it simple, everyone. And you can do it. It feels from left to right, top to bottom, and there's no reason to have a strategy. Let them hit where they hit. You can have a strategy around the money, but not around the speed. Anything that affects your speed is the enemy. Even if you feel clever. Some of you have been clever since the day you started, and you got a good setting of people coming in. You've even paid yourself, but you're not even in profit mode, some of you, because you've been paying so much by building many positions of yourself. You haven't thought it through. Because on the other side of the equation now, it's going to be that much longer to get to where you're going. So you do bring 100 people in. If the other guy who's doing it the way I'm talking about brings 100 people in, he's going to cycle more than you are. You can have these 3 positions clogging things up. Some of you created your own clogged up drain and don't even know it. Yes, I'm passionate about the way I say it, and I have no one in mind when I'm saying it. I'm only saying it because of a leader who wants to join and presented their strategy to me, and I told him it's not, but you should never do that if you want to make decent money from Monday to Friday. Some of you are experiencing a comma a day. It means that you're making an income by the end of the 24 hours where you have a comma, $1,000 or more in one day. Did you not know that $1 million a year is 3,000 a day, 2,900 a day? You're already close. How? I mean, who's crazy enough to slow that down to feel smart? Don't do it. Reducing the speed reduces the total volume of cycles and commissions at the end of the year. You might feel like you're doing better. You might have people properly placed, but you don't have momentum. And it takes inertia. Something that's set in motion stays in motion. It takes to get the motion going first. You've been spending so much time being strategic, you have no motion yet, and you're not sure why. Allow me to help you. It's not a 2x2. Wait, what did I say back there? It's not a binary, right? It's not a unilevel. And now it's not a 2x2. Looks the same. Isn't that crazy? The binary ends up looking like that. A unilevel can look like that. And even the 2x2 looks the same geometrically, but it's not. In this 1x2, nobody can clog up your cycles. Yeah, I had a dead guy on there, man. My matrix won't cycle for a long time. Nope. You have all the control. For most of you are always one person away from cycling. And how dare you slow down how often that happens. Get one on the left, you got paid. Get them again, it opens up a new matrix. Do it again, 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 do it again. So think of RPMs. If every time the tire goes around you get paid, why would you slow down how often the tire goes around? Take the car from 55 miles per hour, miles per hour, and take it down to 10 miles an hour so it goes slower. You're going to get paid less. That's all you've done. You've taken, I'll show you that on the screen, on the big screen. All right? So walk with me. What you've done is you've taken, if you get paid every time the tire rolls around once, it rolls around again, you got paid. By stacking and coming up with these strategies of holding people and moving them here and there, you've now slowed down how often that happens. Because you've got people in the middle, called yourself, in different ways, and it's going slower. And you feel like you're going to make a lot more money. And this game is paid by speed and frequency. Speed and frequency. Speed and frequency. Write it somewhere. Keep it by you. Make sure you know it. I'm telling you, if I've got a top tier person, I don't care where they fall, they're coming in. Get in and sign up. They're following you. Did you not remember that? If they cycle you out and that goes to your sponsor, you didn't lose anything. As soon as they start bringing their army in, they're paying you. Don't miss it. You are the only one who can clog yourself, but no one else can. No one else can clog up your matrix other than you being too strategic. You brought a automatic weapon to a knife fight. You brought a knife to a dance-off. It doesn't make sense. And you brought attitude to a lovemaking contest. Nothing seemed to match. Let's clean it up. Not a 2x2, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, baby. He who has more people cycling back to him has the most commissions and cycles, period. Now, the opposite of that is, he who is the most strategic will have the greatest strategic plan, but the least amount of money. Don't worry. You can just test it. Just test it and try it your way and see how well it works. So far, you can see already what it's bringing you, right? As I told the gentleman today, if you do come into this company, you're going to hear from me first. You're going to hear it from me first. There's only one way to do it. You need to do it right. The more cycles, the more money you make. And the more people, if you want to have 4 or 5 positions, do that. But now your wheel's going to go real slow and you paid extra money to do it. It makes no sense. I will make more with one position than any of you. If I get one position and competed against any of you who have 5 and 6, I will always make more. You will have more positions, no doubt. But the amount of cycles you'll see will be hardly any at all. Because everybody that comes in is going to affect mine. Every other person causes me to cycle. If you have 4 positions, you need about every 8 positions is going to cause you to cycle. That doesn't make any sense at all. So let me break it down for you. Break it down, baby, for me one time. Break it down for me, baby, one time. All right. Oh, I don't want to do that. What do you do if you stacked and you started wrong? Can I find a way to get more frequent sales, please? Is there something I can do? Yeah. Number 1, you've already done it. You've paid yourself. It's not like you made money. You paid yourself. You paid yourself to feel like you got more and you slowed yourself down. I recommend if you started wrong, I wish I should have made a slide for this, but I didn't. What you want to do is log in and make that position inactive. How do I do that, Dwayne? Go to support, ask them to remove the, what's it called? I don't remember. Have them to remove your wallet address. Or have them to make you inactive. No, in fact, don't have them remove the wallet address. Have them to make the account inactive from the programming side. They'll make it inactive. With it being inactive, they will... No, I'm sorry. I said it wrong again. Okay? Remove the wallet address so that it passes up to your sponsor. Just remove the wallet address. Your sponsor will get... It'll go to your master account that gets it. If you have 4 positions between you, if you put 4 people between you and your cycling, you didn't think it through. The least amount of people you have between you and a cycle, right? The more money you're going to make. So I would say take out the wallet address. That's all you have to do. But we can take a look and see what happens. When you get started with this stuff, it looks like this. If I'm clever, I'm not really going to be doing anything. I'm just going to feel like I am. This first position, Tim, is really me, one of my positions. If I'm too strategic. Now, I came in and paid myself $475. And I did it again, right? I paid $300 plus the $100, $25, and $50, so it's $475. I paid it twice, right? The second time I did it, I paid it to my other sponsored position. So far, I've done nothing. The other guy who started at the same time is already making money, but I'm playing games, right? Then, I'm not done. I need to do it again. I want to get another position between me. I want to make sure I don't cause my sponsor to cycle, which is just, like I said, it's avoiding getting a job because you won't get so you don't lose your welfare check. It doesn't make sense. Look at this. I got a position, right? I caused my own to cycle. Now I'm getting another position, right? I got 2 more. Those are me. Now I'm going to cause myself to cycle to myself again. I'm really doing all this work and I'm not making any money yet because I'm stacking. So I'm slowing down my real cycles by putting these people between me, but I'm not even done yet. So let's go ahead. I got it with the other position. I'm doing it there too. Now I've got all my people. I've cycled twice in my sponsor position. And now when people start to work, watch what happens. Now I made a cycle. All right? I cycled and I cycled back to myself. I'm still in debt. I didn't make any money yet. I do it again with this one and this one. And guess what? That guy cycled out. But I didn't make money yet. I'm still in the debt. Right? I'm starting to come out of it, but I already have these 1, 2, 3, 4 positions that I brought in. I got to make sure I can make money on them. So I'm doing all this work. At the end of the day, while I'm working beside the other guy who didn't stack, he's made $14.75 when I break even. Doesn't make sense. Then I really slow it down because now these people are going to start bringing people in. It'll cause these to cycle and ripple. And yes, it delays when my sponsor gets the money. It also delays when this guy gets it. And this guy's even delayed. I have created this thing where it feels like I'm making a lot more money, but I'm slowing down how it happens. Yes, it feels like it. And yes, it feels like because you have more people, it's going to work more. You have the same number of people brought in if you have one position, except they follow you faster and they cause you to cycle faster and you'll never go in debt. You never end up in debt trying to wait to pay that off. So I don't want to go too much further than that. It's even a whole different gamut if you go up to like the $1,500, the $3,500 level, the $7,500. When you get up to those, it really makes no sense. So I wanted to give you that. So one position is enough to create $1 million a year or more right here. You want to make some of that, then you stack your positions. You might make 100,000 in one, maybe a couple 100,000 in the other one, and the third one, you might get, a good 70, 80 grand. It doesn't make sense to me to split them up. All that energy now, you're feeding multiple positions through the bottom, and now they're turning into these slow, they feel fast, but it really doesn't create what you're looking for. So it looks like this. Look at the screen. As you see, the greater the depth of one position, the wider it gets as you go down, and the faster the cycling happens. Unless we interfere with it. We don't want to interfere. We want to do something special, but interference is not it. I truly believe that everyone here has the ability to not just be successful, but to lead the brigade. If you train your people right and they're doing this, you could have Lance Armstrong cycling. I was running through an algorithm with a friend of mine of 100 people coming in on a stacking side versus 100 people coming in on the other side. And they all came in one weekend, looking at what happens. And I can only tell you that this is going to be a game of trust. You can try it that way and start over later, or you can get the right start now. I'm amazed at some of the people with little or no experience in all the cycling that they're doing. Everyone deserves that. So most of you, if not all of you, have a higher intellect than mine. So it's not about intellect at this point. I'm just talking about experience right now. What I've experienced and what I've known and what was in my brain when we created it. So this is not a claim to be smarter. It's a claim for me a pleading of me to ask you to consider mapping out on paper yourself and see if it makes sense. Count every dime. But if you're making any impact on this side of the equation, you're affecting the other side. More people means slower cycles, period. Right? It certainly means a slower start. But at the end of the year, you're going to have to count how much you made between 4 positions and feeding them versus feeding one position. And so you'll come up with the same conclusion that I come up with. But I just wanted to share it with you. Maximize the comp plan. Number 1, get started if you're not started and you're watching this. Number 2, don't mess around with the speed or the frequency, because that at the end of the day will put you in 7-figure land even if you've never been there. You have that ability, but that's up to you. So that's it. This is Dwayne Golden. God bless you guys. Let's talk. You're gonna have I probably have a ton of questions down here beneath here. I don't know. I will be here and chat. Anyway, God bless you guys. You got this, yo. You know what I mean? Boom.